Okay, I know I haven't made a video in a long time, but there really hasn't been too much for me to talk about, I felt like. So, there's a lot of stuff going on in football right now with my team and with all the other teams, but I just, I'm not really in the mood to talk about that right now. I mean, obviously, McNabb got traded, which is huge. Um, there's some trade rumors regarding, like, Albert Haynesworth, some other things going around, but I'm just not in the mood to talk about all that right now. And, there will come a time when I'm gonna get into that, but I'm kind of in the basketball mode right now. I don't want to be thinking about football too much. During the season, I'm completely into it, as you guys know. Sometimes during the off season, I just don't feel like doing it. So anyway, season's almost done. We've only got like most teams have like 3, 4 games left. I'm watching the Lakers Trailblazers game just started, and we'll see what happens there. I don't know how consequential it can be for the Lakers. I think they already have the number one seed. I think they just need to stay ahead of Orlando at this point. And as for Portland, it's obviously huge because of the big clustering at the top of the Western Conference. Right now, I kind of see it playing out as the Lakers getting the number one, the Mavericks getting the number two. I think Utah's going to get the number three, and Denver's going to get the number four. I think number five is going to go to Phoenix. They actually look like they've settled into. I think they're going to stay at number five. I think number six is actually going to be Oklahoma City. Seven is going to be. I'm going to say. Yeah, I'm going to say Portland. Then again, I don't totally know how the schedule plays out, and then number eight is going to be San Antonio. But it's very close, and it's going to be very interesting to see how it comes down the last few days. And in the Eastern Conference, it looks like, obviously Cleveland is at the top, Orlando, and it looks like Atlanta is going to beat out Boston for the three. And then the bottom seeds, it's going to be, I think Milwaukee is going to stay ahead of Miami. But the Andrew Bogut injury was depressing to me because that team was young. They were playing so well. They had found something. They were doing a great job. Bogut was playing at an elite level, and then he goes down on, kind of a fluke. That was really nobody's fault, and that sucked because Bogut was playing excellent, and to see him go down on like that, it sucked. Um, yeah, Miami's going to be the sixth. It looks like. I think Charlotte's going to stay in seventh. And the eighth seed currently belongs to Toronto. Chicago's the only team that can move in there. I actually think Chicago's a little better. I think without Chris Bosh, Toronto's going to fall out of the playoffs, and I think Chicago is going to win tonight, beat them, and I think that's going to put Chicago in the playoffs at the eighth seed. And given that Chicago has a healthy Derrick Rose, and Toronto probably won't have a healthy Chris Bosh, it's probably for the better in terms of entertainment purposes. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for tonight. It's obviously huge. So if you have NBA TV, tune in to Chicago, Toronto. I think Chicago's going to win and ultimately take the playoff spot. But whoever wins is probably going to get the eighth seed. So definitely check that out. Arguably, it does not matter because Cleveland should sweep either team, but still. Um, what's going on in the league right now? Just in general, what can we really talk about? Um, I mentioned I thought Denver was going to fall to the number four seed. I don't know what to think of the Nuggets right now. It's like the Kenyon Martin thing was rough. The excuse me, losing Kenyon Martin obviously had a big blow on them. Billups has not been playing as well as I would like in recent times. I would like to see Billups maybe defer a little bit more than he is doing. I don't know. That's just something that's kind of occurred to me. Um, it just seems like the team doesn't totally know who they are right now. Bill Anthony should be taking the big shots for them for the most part. Billups should be taking more of a supplementary role instead of acting like he's the big time clutch guy, when really it needs to be Anthony. So that's one thing that they need to figure out. Maybe not having George Karl gives them discipline issues. And if they don't figure that out, I think a team like Phoenix could knock them out of the playoffs in the first round. What else? What else? Oklahoma, the Oklahoma City guys. People are talking about them possibly, winning a playoff series. Some people even think that they could go far and challenge the Lakers and everything like that. But when I saw them play the San Antonio Spurs the other day, and it was a close game, they ended up losing by 3. They did a couple of things in that game that made me think, they're not ready for the playoffs yet. So, I'm looking at that game and I think this is evidence to me that they're not ready. They're gonna make a couple of stupid mistakes in the playoffs, and they're not winning a series. So everybody, calm down. They might give up a good fight in the first round at the 6th spot, playing probably Utah. But as for winning a playoff series, everybody just slow down. It's a young team. I just don't see it. What else? What else? I guess there isn't too much to say. I mean, we pretty much know what's going on here. Boston's has some serious problems, and if it wasn't for the Bogut injury, I would definitely pick Milwaukee to beat Boston, but without Andrew Bogut, I just don't know if I see it, and it kind of looks to me as if Boston might be able to get out of that series as long as Brandon Jennings doesn't blow up, and might actually advance to play Cleveland in the second round. So that's really one unfortunate thing about this whole playoffs for me. I wanted to see Andrew Bogut involved, and it's just not going to happen. What else? I gotta say, Miami. I mentioned earlier that Miami team was depressing to me because they just never seemed to. It's like they had one of the best players in the league with Wade, and the rest of the team was so horrible. It was just depressing to me that they were wasting this guy in his prime, wasting his talent with just horrible players from top to bottom surrounding him. But they figured something out, and I'm not totally sure what it is. Jermaine O'Neal's playing better. Sometimes Michael Beasley plays all right. Mario Chalmers is a little bit better than he was earlier this year, and just in general, I feel like it's a little bit of a better team, and they kind of came around, and I was impressed. They look like they're going to play Atlanta in the first round, and I'm not ruling them out of that one entirely, actually, because Atlanta does some things. Like, they look like they're for real, and then they lose to the Knicks at home, or they lose to a team like the Wizards, or they're not completely trustworthy quite yet. So we'll see, but yeah, I guess that's really all I'm gonna say right now. It's gonna be a fun last few days of the season, and we'll see who makes it. And yeah, that's I'm gonna leave it at that.